Absolutely the worst. Um, let's see if I'm streaming yet. Bear with me, kids. We're about to do something new. Oh, we are indeed go. If you could get anyone to take the whatchamacallit, the freaking stream and throw it in Limbo or the Secret Rift or what's the other damn chat? I can't even think of it.
Let
Drama
me
Llama.
see.
Yeah, if any of that is all possible. Hello, kids. It's FNGR and your Uncle FNGR in the vein of being swamped down with too much crap. I'm looking at a script here and I'm going to attempt to do, I guess, a commentary in response that is near and it's important to me. And I'm just going to read off the script now. This is Empty Brooke. For those of you who have watched my channel for a significant amount of time, Brooke or Ponder, Sprocket, as she's known in the commentary committee, is someone known for her knowledge, skill, and we could literally be here all day. I've padded a couple of my videos in the past just singing Brooke's virtues. Jesus, I don't know how to spell. With varying degrees of quality, she's affordable. I can safely recommend Brooke as an artist. I mean, unless you want something cutesy. I mean, there's something that we're all good at, and there's some things that are less so. Brooke is capable to the best at playing within the boundaries of the commentary community guidelines that call for logic. Those those include, but are not limited to, emotion, calling out things such as emotional appeals, appeals to authority, ad hominem, so forth and so on. And the overall concept that the CC, that being the
Yo, I heard we got catfished.
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Brooke. Pastel. I'm trying to focus right now. I'm doing a live thing. Mute it. Hold that thought. I'm doing doing a thing right now. Where the hell was I? Will it look poorly on such things, but not. Yeah, I already did that whole part. The overall concept of the CC, that being the commentary community, the main goal is to help people that the commentaries are made about. There is a video called Spockter Theory Gone Wrong, Gone. I guess that's smut. I don't know. You damn kids in your elite speak. It has a runtime of an hour 50. Many members of the CC insist if you're going to do a commentary proper, you have to address the video as a whole. To this, with this being an hour 50, kiss my ass. Just from top to bottom, there's just no way. What the hell? Not now. Oh, here we go. Yeah, FNGR is indeed multitasking. I've seen the chat. That's good to know. How you guys doing? Hi, Countess. Let's try and stop do this. From a strictly fundamental standpoint, that's a consistent with videos of this type. Brooke's video is fine. It dots all the I's, it crosses all the T's from what I've seen. I have not watched the whole video, but before we go any further, there's certainly plenty of reasons to respect Ponder's talents that are quite numerous. There's certainly a lot of ethics and principles that make Ponder a worthy delegate in most situations, and of anyone who was going to take the stance that Ponder did, she was the best equipped as anyone else. Before we get there, I want to give you some context and why I'm less than thrilled in this situation. Hi, I'm FNGR. I've started two crusades, or bandwagons, however you want to put it, on people in the Bernie fandom, such as people like the Performance Major and Dusky novel. You can find videos on those topics literally spread out across my channel. And why I didn't spearhead Toon's downfall myself, despite being the first to take a swing at the man, I didn't have the tools to bring him down. That credit goes to Vida Pony. More on him later. My biggest gripe about the Toon fiasco was some people had to be grabbed kicking and screaming to do the right thing. Now, I'm going to play clips from videos. I have a series of different bars up here on the screen. I'm going to be checking the comments to see if you guys are hearing what I'm saying, just to see if this is all working out fine. Please tell me I have it all set up and ready to go. That would be beautiful. Oh, yep, this is good. So this is going to be from Vida Pony's video, Pedophile Alert, Toon Critic 543, and we're going to play through to the end. It will be relevant. I do suggest watching the whole video on your own, but let's take it away.
Hard. And then he tells me, and I quote again, I can still love other people even though I'm with Isaac. That's right about when I slap myself to my senses. And oh my god, he keeps begging me not to hate him for this. I told him that I didn't then, well, I do now, and we both kind of pretended just to move past from that like nothing ever happened. Only recently did he tell me he wanted to stop the RP thing. But only until you're 18, he added. Wow. So I decided that it was enough. I stopped my messaging streak about 3/2 weeks ago. That's when I started to realize how good I was feeling. How free, how relaxed, how I could think better and clearer compared to the last few months. I actually have him muted on both Twitter and Skype, so I don't have to see or deal with him anytime soon. And my god, it feels so good. So despite the horrible experience the girl had to go through, the story does have a happy ending of sorts. She finally realizes what kind of person Toon is and throws her out of her life. And everything seems to be looking up for her. If you are here just for the information, this is where you'll want to get off. I'll post a link to the logs used in this video in the description, along with an image of Toon Critic's excuse for why he thought this sort of behavior is acceptable. It's as laughable as you think it is. And to those of you remaining, I'd like to take a minute to address Toon's old friends. Or, more accurately, the late Toon's circle jerk. While Toon Critic is solely responsible for his actions, you have a great deal of blame in all this. You've always been aware of Toon's deviant sexual behavior, but refused to tackle it head on, instead choosing to brush it under the rug or give him a little slap on the wrist. This is why I keep saying you need to hold your friends to even higher standards than you hold strangers. If anyone can stop something like this from happening before it happens, it's going to be the person in question's closest friends. They can pick up on the warning signs and either help correct the behavior or get them to seek professional help. Toon Crew, the only real credit I can give you for this is finally cutting ties with him. But I can't say I'm not disgusted that you refused to do it until he went full fucking pedophile.
Okay. Going to check the... Jesus. Is that it? That it? Tell me I didn't lose the freaking thing. Ah, the live dashboard. Now, did you guys hear all that in the comments? Did every... No audio? Oh! So it worked? Okay, good. Yep, perfect. Alright, let's get back to the script here. There is a relevancy to that. There's one more I want to hear. I'm sure, I do highly recommend this video. Let's see, where is it? This is Roundtable is Toxic. It's the Toon Critic situation. I am going to play from 127 to 235. You guys have probably heard this from my video before, but I feel that it's relevant here. I'm going to play it in mute.
Envy their position in the slightest, but while I hate to say you brought this on yourselves, you brought this on yourselves. Right now everyone is telling of their horror stories with Toon, projecting what we now know about him onto his past actions and saying, I knew he was a creep all along. And to be fair, a lot of the stuff he's done is extremely shitty. Groping and sexually harassing women at conventions, asking them to cheat with him, generally acting like a grade A sleazeball. Even someone I consider a good friend in the fandom was targeted at one point. But here's the funny thing. Until recently I was not aware of any of this, which is strange given the sheer volume of incidents we now know that occurred. I mean, we're not talking about anything so mundane as, I don't know, a commission not being refunded. This is scummy, unforgivable behaviour which would have ruined Toon Critic if it had got out earlier. But it didn't. Because time after time, those with the power to do something about it brushed his behaviour under the rug. Those who were in the know were tapped on the shoulder and pressured to keep quiet, and where have we seen that kind of shit before? I keep hearing how Toon Critic was supposedly a master manipulator who tricked everyone around him. Bullshit.
Okay, let's see here. This has been my perspective looking at Spoctor theory and the incident around him. The matter before the confession, which can be found on Spoctor's channel, was something that had to be addressed as soon as possible, and to Spoctor's credit, he did. He confessed, and that he had inappropriate online actions with minors. For anyone who jumped the gun in defense of Spoctor, I definitely think that there's room to allow people to walk certain things said back. I understand that no one wants to see their friends or loved ones getting dogpiled. Such actions are considered the ultimate black eye of the commentary community, but in this case, I'm a lot more sympathetic and understand to any mistakes that Pentagram, Stories, Atari, or others may have made. Because you guys in the DA ranting community, which you might argue you're either a part of or not, in my view, as someone who helped in assisting with attempting to keep my community safe, no matter how flawed that my view may be, I think that you guys did a great job. You have my respect, and for what it's worth, I don't approve of everyone who used this situation to shit on the ranting community. You have the right to tell me and Ponder to shut the fuck up. Especially when some of you have been affected by this firsthand. For those of you who were victims, especially if you've never dealt with anything remotely close to anything like this, you have the right, every right in the world to tell me and Brooke to shove it. Now, it's not the time for anyone to hold up their set of rules, well-intentioned or otherwise, and play gotcha. On that note, let's go to Ponder. Let's see. Which one? Let's just kill some of these since I shouldn't need it. I don't need that one anymore. And...
Fetch your pitchforks, my cutie pies. The DeviantArt ranting community is crumbling to pieces before our very
there's
eyes.
someone in the chat. Let me go back to it.
Call outs,
All right, come on.
betrayal,
There we go.
condemnations,
Magical
fire,
Dude says he hates you
brimstone,
less than
cats
Vida.
and goats living together, mass hysteria.
Okay, before Quill piped in there, the point I was getting across there is that Ponder was kind of assing off in this delicate situation. I thank Goat in the comments down below. Now, conversely, oddly enough, to Goat, I have it here actually mentioning Vida. Now, conversely, remember Vida's video. The video in whole is considered, and Vida on a whole in our community is considered an ill-tempered douche, who's been lovingly referred to by many members in our community as Pony Hitler. At the start of his video, which I will pull up now, this is not your average drama video. Do not expect any jokes. Sometimes you need to be serious. That was how Vida started off his video when he had to tackle a serious issue like this. Apparently, this doesn't appear to be Ponder's problem, but let's carry on. Let's see, 37 to 28, if I can find that. Too much crap open. That can die. I can get rid of that. Please tell me. Ah, there we go.
Since then, the entire community has basically declared martial law. All the audience members were given AKs, the top ranchers in the community were put into concentration camps where they were interviewed relentlessly on their opinions on insert topic here, and a few select ones were able to escape by providing the guards with the most bare-boned of evidence to condemn the others in the community. Apparently, the only way to freedom is to push all the hatred onto somebody else. Or you could try not to get involved, like Junkie did, digging yourself a hole to hide in, only to then have all the garbage from everybody else lump it on top of you.
Okay. Now that we have that open here, so I wish to get this out now. A while ago, I did a video called a public service announcement. I alluded to a ranter that I had lost my respect for, a ranter who was above the fray, who wanted nothing to do with any of this, and still found the time to go on Ponder's stream about this very same topic. If it was someone else's stream, Brooke was there, so was Junkie, and Ponder was, I say this with full love, the motor mouth talking at the time when I clicked on it, so there you go. I'm just going to call it Brooks. The guy I was talking about, who was good friends with Spoctor, who had the moral responsibility to come forward and say what, if anything, that he knew, and remember that remark, and what Vida said about Toon's friends, that At least he was able to give them credit at long last when they came forward at the end. Names Junkie did a silver quill, sat on his hands, shut his mouth, and protected his own sorry ass. Let's move along. 215 to 225. Here we go.
Entire community gasped at their feet and immediately disowned him, spreading the video around to share awareness. Sent the video to me and I went, "Thanks for the material, suckers!"
Well, isn't that special? Again, Ponder, this is tacky, gauche, and douchey behavior. It is the sort of thing that I find endearing about the commentary community in normal circumstances. However, this isn't normal. And instead of really having a sit down with people who are willing to talk to you and what appeared to seem like they wanted to listen, unlike some of the people in my community, and forgive me for not having the tweet handy where you were more or less, you went gotcha when Pentagram tried to be reasonable with you. And believe me, Brooke, I'm a long way from blindly following Pentagram over you. In fact, this is the most reasonable I've ever seen old Pen ever be. And here comes the nitpicks. 410 to 428.
To say, so let's just get started. In the past few days, a couple of people have come forth telling me and others about their experiences with Spoctor theory, who we've decided to keep anonymous.
One of them was Ghosty. I'm not outing them. They outed themselves. Another was Stories. They did it first.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. Seabrook, you can choose to state why you're including the names, and keep in mind, a lot of these videos were made at breakneck speed, but Atari chose not to include the names because at the time she didn't feel comfortable. And yeah, I know how that sounds like. That sounds like an appeal to emotion. I got it. How Atari felt shouldn't have mattered at the time of her video, combined with her decisions, and who knows, maybe her friends asked her not to as well. My point is, Ponder, you treated this drama like it was literally everything else. This isn't someone screeching about Black Borders Matters or diapers or how many inhalers YouTube dude went through today. They're talking about child abuse, Ponder, and making a serious, concise, straightforward video was the goal here. God, I really don't know how to write. Did you legit look at what you made at something that would... Did you legit look at this as something that you would think would help the community? Or was this something that you decided would help a specific group of people, Ponder?
There was one who came forth talking about how Spoctor had developed feelings for them, sent them nudes, said gross things, literally told them that their boyfriend didn't have to know when they mentioned that they've been in a relationship themselves since November, and more.
Which none of your screenshots have actually shown. This is actually a major pet peeve of mine, and it's a huge problem with this video. If you're going to show screenshots to use as evidence, they should actually be evidence of your claims. Atari claims in order that Spoctor developed feelings for them, sent them nudes, said gross things, said their boyfriend didn't need to know in trying to get with someone already in a relationship, and more. Firstly, developing feelings for somebody isn't a crime. The nudes? Yeah. That is a problem, but it's for a completely different reason than you think, and we'll address it later. Just keep it in mind for now. Gross things is subjective. What she's effectively saying here is that Spoctor expressed sexual feelings towards this person. The whole boyfriend didn't need to know thing isn't at all showcased in these screenshots. Did it happen? Did it not? Hell if I know, Atari couldn't be bothered to show evidence of this and is now just expecting her audience to believe as much because she's showing screen caps of Spoctor being sexual. You know what I also don't see? Responses from the person he's talking to, saying that they're uncomfortable with what he's saying to them. Yes, they say that's so out of my comfort zone, but this is in response to the prodding for nudes, which, yeah, some people are uncomfortable with. They don't all specify this about the rest of the conversation. Even the fact that his icon changes between screenshots tell me that this was going on for a while, or that these specific chats are from different people, and we're not given any indication where one chat starts and the other chat ends. So for all the time they were talking, the other person never expressed that they didn't want to talk about sexual things. If, by what you've said, they thought the things being said were gross, then they should have specified that outright. If they have specified that outright, you haven't showcased this. You can't just expect people to have the same tolerances or boundaries that you do. And in conversing with someone, it's important to make note when they're crossing the line. That's how people come to understand where everybody else's boundaries lay. They have to be told.
Keep in mind that this person is a very young
Overshot that by a bit, sorry about that. Now, I'll be honest. There are legit gripes, and might I remind people that Spoctor has confessed well before the video came out, and did zero to refute any of the claims against him, which now Ponder is attempting to make this a commentary for the lulz. It's no longer about defending someone who's potentially innocent anymore. I'm referring to defending Spoctor, if that was ever a perception. It was something that was potentially possible at one point, but again, we have the confession. And in lieu of this, I feel that Ponder is going around going, gotcha right now. And you can say what and we can talk about what Atari considers as gross is different from us. And yes, the screenshots are a touch off. We'll say massively, screw it. And yes, if you're a defense attorney, Brooke, well, let's say if you were a defense attorney, minus the confessions, you have certainly would have been well on your way to reaching reasonable doubt at this point. Only Spoctor did confess. He had the opportunity to say he didn't, and he confessed. And instead of either scrapping this video or severely re-editing it, and judging by Doodle's comments down below in your comments section, something along the lines of having to edit this monster or render this monster 3 times. Yeah, I know what it feels like to have a video crash and recrash and have to edit it in parts only to have to edit it all back together again. And that's if the person who's doing this has a beast of computer. You probably were looking at 3 to 4 hours of rendering each time. I appreciate your desire to perform. I appreciate having a headshot, so to speak, and feeling the need to take it. This very much reminds me of Misanthropony after everyone sat down and talked to him and he still felt the need to press on. Well, actually, in your case, you didn't really want to listen. I think that's good enough. I'm not covering the whole goddamn video, even in this lazy fashion. I respect the work that you make. I respect how much time and effort with this. I'll pray for your voice and your vocal cords, especially if you did all this audio in one day. Mad respect, but ultimately, I think you chose the wrong hill to die on this one. Let's look at some of the comments down below. Oh, there's a freaking someone through 10. Let's read this off. Oh, Opium Fi Temas. Thanks for the 10. I don't think you left a remark. But yeah, I'll go back through the comments here. Hi, Hateful. I think the world we know. I think that's a Toon Critic thing. The one named Pentagrin did. I probably shouldn't be reading this dyslexically. Magic. Dude. Joe, stop burping or whatever the hell you're doing in the call. Can you hear me?
It was a laugh.
Okay, whatever. The Eyes of Jan. Did he change his name again? Sup. If you guys just BSing down there, does anybody have any questions? I hope I wasn't too harsh on Brooke. I just think that, you know what, maybe I was being the nitpicker. I'll put it out there. I just had some things on my mind. Did anybody like this format? Anybody? Or did you guys want me to just stick to the regular, how not to brony nonsense, and this stream was a complete flop and a fail? I'm willing to listen. Yukari, I did see your original video on this controversy, FNGR. You did catch my attention on the subject. Time Lord Rick, I like it. Story Lord, it's a decent format. It's not bad. It's okay. I like it. Alright, cool. Anybody got anything super important? I heard Meliminus is gay with Toon. You know what? I don't have anything about that, and I'm not going to blast Faith since he handled the Toon Critic thing very responsible. Plus you made $10. I do like that, but I didn't want to say. Oh, hi Cherry, big shout out. Sam outlined it was a try. If you'd like, you're thinking. I don't know if you guys wanted me to do more of that video. That it is a beast. I'm not going to pretend to say that I'm anywhere near as talented as Brooke, as obviously not as an artist or a commentator. I wanted to get off some of the things I had on my chest. And basically, when we were talking on Twitter, I acted like me. And, you know, I think if you guys have seen what a piece of shit I've been on Twitter on time to time, that probably wasn't the best way to treat someone in Brooke's position, and I felt like I just had to say it out in open. And you know what? If she beats me up because of this, metaphorically speaking, yeah, I'm glad I put it out there. Yeah, lol, good stuff, guys. So I had a good time talking with you. I'm going to stop the stream. God bless and take care.